What's up? What's up? What's up? We are live. This is the third live. It's a record for me. Um, Hopefully you guys can hear me and see me. I'm not sure which camera I am streaming off of, but today we are going to talk about marketing, specifically social media marketing or marketing strategy for your small businesses. 2021 has, 2020, 2021, I'm getting ahead of myself. 2020 has definitely been a rough year for small business owners um, because of all the shutdowns, pandemic, all the government restrictions. Pretty much, small businesses have been getting crushed all year. A lot of them didn't survive. Some industries got hit harder than others, and it made it really difficult. It's making it really difficult. And as we move into 2021, it's very clear that the businesses who survived 2020 had really a different sense of urgency when it came to their business, their marketing, their reach, even the things that they offered. They were able to innovate, they were able to adapt. And those who stayed stuck in traditional types of advertising models, traditional methods, didn't make it or really struggled. So today I just kind of want to lay out some strategies here, or a strategy really, that you can use moving forward in 2021. And this is for those who own a service-based business or that own a brick and mortar business. It's going to be really helpful for you. If you're joining live, you can leave questions or whatever you want in the comment in the chat box there. We can do sort of an AMA style after we do this stuff here. And also, I'm putting together a beta group. Usually, we release a program for small business owners, and I have a whole bunch of people come in and test it for free. They give me some feedback, and I adjust, and it helps me put out some good content. But that's going to be in the description. I think a link to the Facebook group if you guys want to join that. So let's talk about the lay of the land. 2020, rough year for small businesses. A lot of government restrictions. A lot of things happened to a lot of people. Some people lost their jobs. Other businesses weren't able to sustain themselves and to keep open. Some grew exponentially. Some were thriving more than they ever did before. But it's been rough, specifically for those who are smaller, and because they didn't adapt. They don't know how to adapt. So I'm gonna go over some common sort of mistakes and myths when it comes to really promoting your business and sort of business in general that allows you to kind of leapfrog everyone else in 2020. So confusing sales and marketing. I saw this a lot in 2020 where people were saying before this whole thing happened that, I already do some sort of advertising and I don't get any return on that. That's a big confusion point. Sales and marketing are completely separate. Although they go hand in hand, they should be treated completely separate. And I'm going to go into what that looks like here in the next slide, and then kind of explain a little bit more. The myth that things are free. Okay, there's no such thing as a free meal. A lot of businesses were relying on what they consider to be free methods because they didn't really have a strategy. Things like word of mouth. It's free, it's the best kind of strategy. But what happened in 2020 was that it came to a complete stop. People weren't really thinking about you, your business, your services, and you were kind of just, word of mouth is just kind of hoping that somebody remembers you whenever you come up in conversation or a service or a product is needed and they remember that they had a good experience. It's not really a viable strategy. So they relied on a lot of this free stuff like flyers and door hangers and leaving business cards here and having events, and all that came to a complete stop. So one thing you have to kind of get out of the way now is understand that there's no such thing as a free meal. Everything is paid to play. Nobody owes you or your business anything. You have to go out there and get in front of the right people in order to make a difference in your own business. Okay, trying to bypass your sales process was another big one. I saw that a lot of businesses went into sort of this not reactive mode. Oh man, the doors are shut. We're only at X amount % capacity, and instead of having a plan for that, they went into this reactive mode, and they tried to hurry up and try to push out content like in a flyer or something like that bypassed all the things that needed to happen before that sale went into play, and then they did it all wrong with the wrong kind of media, and not really understanding traffic, where traffic come from, how to generate traffic and really how to leverage that to your advantage. And I will tell you this, as a small business owner, you have a massive advantage right now, more so than ever before. Social media is on the rise. We're going to talk about specifically micro video here, but I want to kind of cover some of those things in the previous slide. Sales versus marketing, or advertising versus sales. Two completely separate things. They go hand in hand, but they must be treated separately. The role of advertising is to let people know that you exist, that your business is here, to get to people to like you, to trust your business, that you're a staple in your community, whatever that case is, right? The role of sales is to actually close the deal, broker the deal, put people through your sales process, whatever that sales process is. So a lot of people say, I created a Google ad, or I made a YouTube video, or I put content on Facebook, or I use Instagram or whatever, and I made no sales. What they're really saying is that they don't understand advertising versus sales, because putting those things on there, creating that action, is just advertising. If your advertising is not driving people into a sales process, a mechanism that you can then have a conversation with somebody who is interested in your stuff, you're confusing advertising versus sales. Successful advertising and marketing does one thing: it drives the click over to a place where you can then have more deeper conversations with people, and in that conversation is where the sale happens. So two completely separate things. Moving forward, you have to understand that these are two separate things. They work together, but you must focus on one before the next. Okay. The next thing, this is what it kind of looks like. Really, this is sort of advertising versus sales. So everything on the ad side, whether the content is, I shouldn't say free, but the content is slow or fast. Okay. And the reason I use slow versus fast is because there's no such thing as free. You're still going to pay for it, whether time or whatever. So advertising is like, you had a Facebook ad right here, for example, and I'm driving people to a lead form and they're interested in my stuff. Once they're interested in my stuff, the role of advertising stops. Okay, it's been successful. It drove the click, it drove the interest. Then the sales process begins. That's me following up with people. That's me, emailing them, texting them, whatever the case is, depending on the type of business. Okay, what people do is they try to bypass this. They say, I want my ad to go over here and convert into dollars. And if this doesn't convert into dollars, then advertising doesn't work. Facebook doesn't work, YouTube doesn't work, and Google doesn't work, and nothing works except for the old outdated dinosaur word of mouth or flyer or whatever, outdated media you're using. And that's just not the case. What you're doing is trying to bypass the process using an outdated process that it's not going to work in today's world, really. So here's what happens when you try to do that. You end up with people saying, oh, I did Instagram ads and they got me nowhere but spending money. I just ran a promoted post and I got a ton of likes, but I got no sales. I tried I tried Facebook ads or I tried YouTube ads and it got me nowhere. Just a bunch of comments when I needed just clients instead. LOL, it doesn't work. All these different things, right? And the reason for this is because you're bypassing the process and you're doing it wrong. And it's not your fault, honestly. It's because you're an expert at running your business. And when you're an expert at running your business, you're expected to do your business really, really well, provide a really great service that you offer or a really good product, but you're not expected to be like this sort of mastermind sort of marketing thing. But at the core, it's very basic. It's a very basic, easy process to understand. You take the same thing that happens offline and you just make a process for it online. So understanding traffic is another one, okay? Fast versus slow. Most people call this free traffic. No such thing as free traffic, okay? One way or another, you are going to pay for that traffic, okay? So slow traffic is going to be things like word of mouth, very slow, very inconsistent. You don't know when that customer's coming. You don't know when that referral's coming, right? Same thing with referrals. Another slow form of traffic can be social media. Posting on Facebook, Instagram, Snap, LinkedIn, TikTok, etc. You name it. If you're posting organically, you don't control the amount of eyeballs that are going to see that stuff, and therefore you can't control the outcome. Things like Google SEO, very slow. If you're just building up your business, that traffic is going to take forever to build. I know that you've been kind of told the same thing before. Build a website, do some of this, do some of that. And how many hundreds of thousands of businesses are there that have done this exact same stuff and they have got nowhere? It's because SEO is a little bit of an art, science with an unknown still. Not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying it's very slow. YouTube, posting on YouTube, again, slow. Okay. And then there's a few more. When it comes to fast, these are usually what people look at in terms of paid traffic. Social media ads, okay? Whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Snap, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube ads, Google PPC, offline media can be fast too as well. Newspaper, billboards, community publications, and many more if you can measure those right. Okay, so you have to understand the difference. There's not one right way or wrong way here. This truly depends on where you are in your business. If you're in your business where you can wait 6 months to have a solid content strategy that starts to kind of rocket fuel your stuff, then go with slow, build it up organically because you already have a customer base. But if you need yesterday's paycheck to pay for today's payroll, you're going to need to do something to be able to generate that customer and that click faster. This is where the paid stuff comes into play because it's controlled. You can advertise, how much you're putting in versus how much you're getting out versus what each one of those steps in the process is doing. Okay. Now, I already covered about what's right and what's wrong. So traffic sources, understanding traffic. Okay. Slow versus fast. When it comes to slow traffic, you really cannot control how many people are going to be interested in your stuff within a amount of time. You can't say, if I post this organic thing on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever, I know that I'm going to get X amount of whatever and it's going to cost me this much to acquire one lead. Okay. It's very hard to quantify. Especially with SEO, it's very hard to quantify. Now, you can get a really good guess after you build an audience and spend some time. You can say, well, every time I post something like this, I usually get 20 people interested. That's a different story. You have to build up to that. So understanding traffic sources, everything is a traffic source. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snap, billboards, everything is a traffic source. And so what you're ultimately trying to do is trying to acquire a lead at a reasonable cost. Okay, at a reasonable cost. What I mean by that is if you're offering power washing services and your service is typically $200 and you acquire a lead, that's one person who's interested in your stuff that raises their hand, and that lead costs you $10. Okay, you get on the phone with them, you speak to them, and you know that for every 10 people that you speak to, you're closing one deal. That one customer is costing you $100. Okay, now if you're comfortable with that and if the economics work and if you're still making a profit after that, you know exactly how much a customer costs to acquire. The game is to try to get the lowest customer acquisition where you can still make a profit, not the cheapest. You don't want cheap leads. You want affordable leads that are also quality. So how this works is you send a number of eyeballs to your advertising. In this case, this is what I'm using here is Facebook. So I send a number of eyeballs to my advertising through my ad. And let's say that each person that clicks this button, Facebook charges me $1 for it. I know that if I send 100, I'm going to spend $100 because it's $1. And I know that out of every 100 people that go here to the mechanism where I can capture them, I can pique their interest enough for them to give me their information, and I can do it 10 times out of 100, so that I know that my cost per lead is 10, and to get one customer it costs me, say 100. If my product is 500, then it makes sense. Okay, so understanding traffic. This here is no different per medium. So Instagram works the same way, YouTube works the same way, Google PPC works the same way, LinkedIn works the same way, Snap ads work the same way. Heck, even magazines work the same way as long as you can track. The problem with offline media is that a lot of people don't track them. They don't put tracking numbers, they don't put tracking URLs, anything like that. So they really don't know how many people are coming from those mediums and converting into customers. So the next thing you have to think about is the sales process. Once you have this here, what is your sales process? If you're a service-based business, usually Usually that involves somebody submitting a form on the internet or calling you for a quote. You then have an exchange of information, and if their price is right and they're still shopping around and you can convince them that you're the person that they need to go with, then they'll buy from you. That's the sales process, really. For a brick and mortar business, the sales process is a little bit different in that you're trying to get people to come into the store. So how will you do that? Is it going to be through an offer? Is it going to be through a coupon? Is it going to be through a, maybe you have a flash sale or something like that? So you got to think about the offer as well. Now, let's talk about the strategy here. The strategy that you should be employing and then moving forward in 2021 is going to crush anything that anybody else does at a fraction of the cost is MicroVideo. What is MicroVideo? Well, MicroVideo is very short form video, not like YouTube where you have a long stretch of a video, usually providing a tutorial or explaining something. MicroVideo is really fast. It gets the point across, and it really helps the customer visualize what they're going to get as a return, right? What they want as a result of purchasing your product or your services. Okay, let me sort of explain this a little bit further. Right now, we're working with clients in the moving industry, and part of the MicroVideo strategy includes time lapse. So we're taking a 30-second time lapse of people moving in and out of a truck, loading things up. Okay, and we're explaining to them in the copy, hey, this is what we're going to do for you. If you're in this area, we want to speak to you. If you're thinking about moving, we want to talk to you. These are our guys, blah, blah, blah. The video really shows everyone the entire process in a very short, condensed amount of time. MicroVideo doesn't always have to have you as the face of the company or somebody else. It can be the process. So if you're doing carpet cleaning, for example, MicroVideo could include you walking into a room, vacuuming the carpet, and then showing the process of how it goes from like very dirty to very clean along with your offer. And MicroVideo is important because this is the current state of people right now. This is us right here in the middle. And as it stands right now, you could be watching this on YouTube, and you could have Spotify in the background streaming. In the other room, your kids are watching Netflix. You probably on a computer right now that has more than one tab open. So you're answering emails, or you're checking the Facebook feed, or you're on whatever, right? And then at the same time, you're getting alerts on your phone, right? It's dinging and people are texting you and all this other stuff, and bubbles are coming up. Amazon Prime may be over there. And then you have social media apps open. And every now and again, you'll get distracted and you'll head on over to like TikTok and watch some videos or something. This is the state of the customer. So when in traditional media, where you have a piece of paper and you have to stop and actually read that piece of paper, this customer, today's customer, the customer of the future, which exists today, does not have time to do that. It has to be in front of them, and it has to be in front of them really, really often. And in order for that to be in front of them often, you have to be able to put it really small and really condensed that really shows them the entire process, so that those people can become more interested in the stuff that you've got. Think about it this way. I recently bought a pool skimmer. It's a basket that creates like more suction in the middle. That's a pretty low-end product. I think I paid $35 for it. But I saw an ad on the internet, and I saw this ad. It was like a 30-second clip showing me the thing. And then I had to really see that low-end product 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 times before I even got interested to go look at it online. Then I saw more YouTube videos, and then I finally bought it, because I'm also not immune to this process here. I'm a consumer as well. So that's kind of where MicroVideo has a really leveraged advantage. The other thing that MicroVideo allows you to do is allows you to build some trust, credibility, all that stuff here. So we want to keep things simple. I'm not a big fan of complicated processes. We want to put the right people in front of the right message, and we want to do that at the right time. Okay. When you have these 3 things, you will have a positive conversion. Okay. Let's say that you're in a market, somebody's in a market for a car. That might be the right person who's looking for a car, but if you put a minivan in front of them and they're not looking for a minivan, then that's not the right offer. All right? It's not the right offer. The same thing could be said for any product or service. Let's say that you're selling power washing services. You have the right message and you put it at the right time because people are on the feed and they see that, but this person happens to not be a homeowner. Well, guess what? It's not the right person. It's the right message at the right time, but it's not the right person. So you have to have these 3 things in order for a positive conversion to really happen. When you're able to do this, you're able to really track and you're able to reach more of those right people, and you're really able to make more of those offers. And when people start to see your stuff over and over again, and you start to make your offers more relevant and more precise to those people, you're going to sell more stuff. This applies to local businesses. This is why a lot of small business owners in 2020 struggled. There's actually a donut shop down the street from here who is struggling, and they put it in one of these community Facebook groups that they were struggling, but they do zero advertising, and they're actually hitting a shopping center. How on earth is anybody supposed to know that they're there when the world around us is literally littered with noise of lockdowns and everything else going on in the world, right? That person should have been using micro videos to show how the donuts are made, how the kolaches are made, how the sausage and cheese rolls are made. Put it in front of people early in the morning and give them a call to action and tell them, hey, we're here for you. Let us deliver to you. Let us come over here, get this 20% off coupon or whatever to bring in traffic. But they didn't, and as a result, they struggle. Nobody's going to know you exist if you don't tell them that you exist, okay? This is not what you want to do. Stop complicating the process. Now, if this is your graphic, I'm sorry. I got this off the internet somewhere. I snagged this because it says the ultimate sales funnel super simple template. There's absolutely nothing simple about this. A4, B4, A1, B2. There's nothing simple about this process, okay? This is what a simple process looks like. You have advertising, okay? The goal of advertising is to sell the click, so that somebody can give you some information, and then you take that and you have a conversation about whether or not you can help that person or not. So micro video is the strategy that you want to be using, okay? Turning strangers into customers becomes very simple. It's a matter of repetition. Big companies do it too. Here's sports clips. They have a video of a guy, micro video, getting out of a haircut. They show the after, the thing that people want the most. It's the right message. They position it in front of the right people at the right time, and then they have a very simple process to enter the sales process here. Hey, just click this button and we'll connect you. They're building trust, they're building authority, they're building credibility, and they're generating business at the same time. Now, I did mention that in the comments, probably not in the comments, but I think in the description of this video, I'm starting a beta group again that shows you and walks you through how to really slice and dice micro video and how to use it in your business, whether you're using it as a slow method or as a fast method, and I'll break that process down. It's a new program that I launch. Usually I open it up to get beta testers in there so they can give me feedback and I can refine it. If you're interested, there's going to be the link in the comments. Okay, so using video allows you to have results that you didn't have before. Okay, it's kind of crazy that you can reach somebody for a penny, 2 pennies, even a nickel, and have people watch your entire video, or at least 50% of the video, when you are literally littered with all this noise. This is what it allows you to do. In this case, you can see I'm kind of using a meme right here, and even then, this video is like crushing it, right? It's a meme video, and it goes straight to a sales page. This is another one, another micro form video. This one's only 20 seconds. This one's a little bit longer, but it explains more of the process. So this is the strategy moving forward that local business owners need to employ if they want to be successful, if they want to see lower advertising costs, if they want to dominate their local area and sort of create this almost celebrity effect in their area. So sorts of videos, right? This is the part that people have a lot of trouble with. And this is really the part that I kind of break down in the program and kind of focus on, is what type of videos do we create? How do you create these videos? How do you do it on the fly so you're not spending 30 hours a day building videos? Well, you show your process. You walk people through the things that you do. You explain common myths, sentiments, obstacles. You show testimonials, your services, your storefront. Talk about what your stuff can do for people, the benefit that they get. Showcase the hero state, meaning, hey, if you're offering power washing services, nobody wakes up in the morning and says, hey, I want to part ways with this money to power wash my house. What they're really buying is the pride of knowing that they're going to get a clean sidewalk, or that their house value is going to increase because it looks nice and it looks clean or whatever. So they're actually buying something else, and your stuff is not it. Okay, meme videos, and there's a whole bunch of others that work very well. So moving forward, and this is the strategy that you have to use in 2021 as a local business owner, as a brick and mortar business. If you want to really master this and you want to be successful, drive a bunch of sales, drive a bunch of eyeballs into your stores, and really crush it out of the gate. So again, if you're watching this, I don't really see anybody, a whole lot of comments. So if you're watching this, go ahead and you're watching the replay or something like that, leave your comments below. I'll probably put this video in the private Facebook group for the local beta test, for those of you who kind of want to join in there as well. And on YouTube. And again, if you have questions about this whole process, if you own a small business, let me know what you're struggling with. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what is the thing that's stopping you from using micro content like this, micro videos, to really amp it up and to really dominate an entire area. Because I'm always curious to know, like, what stops people. Because usually it's a big thing for them, but it's a really simple solution that I can help you get unstuck with, or somebody from our community could help you get unstuck. And with that being said, I think I'm going to cut this off, and I'll see you guys on the next one.